Hey everybody, welcome to the official launch of Ballin and Talkin. My name is Janella. Here's my co-host.
I'm Raamir Hill, and today we're going to be discussing NBA basketball on our show. And some topics we'll be discussing is the biggest surprises so far, the biggest disappointments, along with fantasy basketball, and what do we expect this upcoming NBA season. Now, Steph Curry started off this NBA season with a bang. He lit up the New Orleans Pelicans for 40 points. And then several days later, he scores 50 points on them. I feel sorry for New Orleans Pelicans. They are getting the brute force of people saying that Steph Curry's MVP season was a fluke.
Yeah.
He's on a mission to prove that was not the case.
I agree.
Now, another good game, I don't know if you caught this, Janella, but the Orlando Magic versus the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, there was 2 overtimes, right?
Yes, Westbrook was amazing in that game. He scored 48 points. And Kevin Durant, his sidekick, who's back in action,
Scored over 40 also.
I feel sorry for anybody who missed that game. It was amazing.
It was.
Now, any other games that you noticed that you liked?
I like the which game was this? I actually like the Cavs and the Bulls game, the first game of the season actually.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, Kevin Love came out very aggressive that game. You can tell he's not. Last year he was standing around at the 3-point line, just the stretch forward. Now he's in the post, grabbing rebounds again. I like this from Kevin Love.
And what I enjoyed the most was the last seconds of that game, where like LeBron tried to tie up the game, but then Paul Gasol blocked him for the shot, and they ended up winning the game because of that.
And Paul Gasol is not known as a defensive player. To step up like that against LeBron James, that was very, very
Yes, it was.
The NBA season has started off very, very, very enjoyable so far. And there have been a couple letdowns so far. The team I'm most disappointed in is the Indiana Pacers. With the return of Paul George, who broke his leg last summer, I expected them to come off to a hot start, wanting to prove to the weak Eastern Conference that they're going to set themselves apart from the lower class in the Eastern Conference. But they've started off at 0-3. That is very, very surprising with Paul George being back. What do you think about it?
Well, I am kind of disappointed in them, but more disappointed in the Pelicans. They're also 0-3. With Anthony Davis, now that he's shooting 3-pointers also, he should be doing better. Like the whole team should be doing better as a whole, but I feel like it's a lot of injuries that's kind of holding them back.
Yeah.
Like Drew Holiday, they're limited his minutes. So, I mean, he's still scoring as he should, but his minutes are still limited, so he can't contribute as much.
Tyreke Evans being hurt as well doesn't help.
Oh, yeah, Tyreke Evans, too.
He was supposed to be their starting point guard, but now he's not even anywhere to be. He's out for the next 6 weeks, so I don't know how they're going to master defensive issues. That's probably why Steph Curry was able to drop 50 points on him.
That's true. How do you feel about the Houston Rockets being 0-3?
Oh, my God. James Harden has looked terrible so far. You look at Kobe and James Harden, they're both equally bad, and I didn't think I would be able to say that. They're both taking terrible 3-point shots. Can't get to the free throw line. I mean, they're both looking very, very, very bad, and along with their team. But I think they can pick it up, especially the Houston Rockets. Now, this is a shock for everyone. I don't know about everyone, but for me, I did not expect the Detroit Pistons to get off to such a hot start. Reggie Jackson is looking like an early MVP candidate. I don't want to speak too soon, but the guy's really looking great.
Mm-hmm.
Andre Drummond as well. He had a 2020 game.
And he was the player of the week.
Was he?
Him and Steph Curry were both players of the week.
Steph Curry, well, that's a given. No one should get. Well, maybe Russell Westbrook. That's debatable because Westbrook had 2 amazing games as well. Another surprising team in the West, actually, is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns, a New Jersey product, is looking great so far. He's averaging 21 points and 13 rebounds.
Yeah, he's the youngest player, they said, to score double-doubles in his first 2 career games.
With the leadership of Kevin Garnett guarding him, I'm not surprised at all because that is a great mentor to learn from.
That's true. What's another team?
The Toronto Raptors.
Oh, yeah. They're also undefeated, too.
The Toronto Raptors, yes, they are. But they play very weak competition, so until they go out west and have their little tough road trip, I will see what they're really about. But right now they're playing weak Eastern Conference teams, so they haven't been battle tested yet.
Yeah, that's true. Same for the Timberwolves. Didn't they play the Lakers?
Oh, yeah, they played the Lakers. Yeah, so I guess that's his 21-13 is a little saturated, but it's still a good accomplishment.
But isn't your favorite team the Lakers? So how do you feel about them going? How they're going? How they're doing?
It's really hard to watch Kobe Bryant. Because the Kobe Bryant I knew, he can go for 40. He would take terrible shots, but they would go in. But now these terrible shots are not dropping. And I don't want to say you have to bench him, but because it's Kobe Bryant, this is kind of blasphemy. But the guy looks terrible.
He does look terrible.
He admitted himself. This one you guys can watch it on YouTube. He said he's playing like explicit, and he looks like the worst player in the NBA. These are Kobe's words himself. So who are we to doubt him? Maybe he should sit down. I don't know. Come off the bench, 6 man. But he's really, really hurting the team. He should let the young guys prosper more and take control of the team because he's not capable anymore. And it hurts my heart to say this.
Honestly, I do like Kobe too. I was hoping that he had a great season, but seeing him play so far is very disappointing.
But your favorite player, Dirk Nowitzki, still looks great.
Yeah, he dunked yesterday's game, didn't he?
Anytime Dirk dunks, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, because he's a jump shooter. He's not very athletic, but seeing him dunk yesterday was amazing. And he's 40.
He's pushing for it, for sure. Now, we're going to get into a topic that does not get a lot of coverage, in my opinion. I don't know why, but when people think fantasy sports, they automatically think football. But there's actually a thriving culture in basketball for fantasy sports. And we both are a part of that. Now, fantasy basketball is very, very different than football. There's not one game a week. There's not one day with all the games when all the games are played. It's a weekly thing. So you really have to manage your team and watch your stats.
Yeah, stats.
So do you have any pointers for people who are just getting into fantasy basketball or people that are always on the losing end of the stick?
Well, honestly, it's to have a balanced team. My team is pretty balanced. I don't have very top-notch players. I have Russell Westbrook, and I have other players too, but it's to keep them balanced. People as long as all your categories are secure, my points are secure, my assists are secure, my blocks are secure. Make sure you study the stats and see how players are doing. I picked up CJ McCollum from my fantasy team.
That was
everybody was just neglected him, and I'm okay, let me pick him up because his preseason he was scoring 20 points each. And how much did he get? The first game, he had over 37 points, I believe. He had 37 points.
She did her research.
Yeah, so make sure you check your stats and just make sure you have a balanced team because if all your team is just a scoring team, the only category you'll win is points. And if you're 0 with everything else, then you can't possibly win against the other teams.
My philosophy is no zeros. I want to see scoring in every category. So you want a barrage of stats every single day. You don't want a guy that's just going to score one day, one guy that's just going to grab rebounds. You want a guy that's going to get steals, blocks, rebounds, and assists. Now, I tank points personally. I think that is the easiest stat to come across. So you want to look at your waiver list and see what stats are most available. If there's not a lot of point stats available, then you want to save points for later. You can get that later. But if you know you're weak on blocks, you want to get some blocks from a player. One, I would say Willie Cauley-Stein. He's probably on a lot of waiver wires out there. You might want to grab him up if you can. Yeah. Any players you see on the waiver wire?
Well, recently, I think it was yesterday when I picked up Cephalosha. I seen that I was a little low on rebounds, and he got me the rebounds I needed, and so were steals. He also got me some steals. Even though he didn't play that much minutes, even though he didn't contribute as much points, he got me 4 rebounds and 2 steals. So that's exactly what I needed.
Marcus Smart is actually a good steal, too. He's starting for the Celtics, and he's really, really great at getting steals if you need them, guys. That's a great stat to stack up on.
What else should we talk about?
How do I get started in fantasy basketball?
Oh, well, there's many places where you can do fantasy basketball. Yahoo, ESPN, NBA actually has one as well. But all those are still kind of raw. ESPN has the best foundation for fantasy basketball. People have their opinions, but I think that's the best way to go. ESPN Sports.
Yeah.
Does it cost money?
No, it's free.
Totally free. But you can start a wager where you pay your dues to the league manager. But that's up to you if you want to. It's
like if you want to do it with your close friends and stuff. Not strangers. Yeah. Somebody asked, who are your favorite NBA players? Honestly, you guys will be surprised when I say my favorite NBA player. My favorite NBA player is Gerald Green. And not because he's doing great now. He's been my favorite player since he played for the Dallas Mavericks, which was a while ago. And he was a bench warmer then. So you can't say that I'm a bandwagon. I'm not one of those LeBron fans because he's doing great. I'm a Gerald Green fan. It's because he reminds me a lot of my favorite player, Tracy McGrady. They're both athletic, and it seems like they play the same way. And who's your favorite NBA player?
Well, I spoke about this earlier, but Kobe Bryant. But he's a shell of himself. So he's kind of, after these first 3 games, I'm going to ride it out. Hopefully he gets better. But as a second choice, I have to go with Rajon Rondo. That's my second favorite player. He's really playing a lot better.
And he's doing well with the Kings.
Since he got to the Kings. He's scoring a lot better. He's not afraid to get to the free throw line, which was the issue in Dallas. So hopefully he can keep up this hot streak. He's playing very well.
Since that's your favorite player, I have a question about Rajon Rondo. Why can't he shoot?
I have no. There's so many theories. They say because his hands are huge, but Kawhi Leonard can still shoot. He has huge hands. I really don't know the explanation for that. A point guard should not shoot 34% from the free throw line. There's no explanation.
I'm not the most athletic person, but I feel like I can shoot better than 34%. What do you guys think of Steph Curry?
I think this guy is amazing. I personally was a doubter. I thought a 3-point shooter couldn't take over the league, but this guy, he is so versatile. It is impossible to guard this guy.
I think he's a cheat code. Like, it's not fair how he is. Like, he's over here falling on the floor and still dribbling the ball, then making the 3-point shot. Like, how is that possible? Like, I don't know. Steph Curry is just crazy. How do you guys feel about Steph Curry? Do you guys like him? Do you guys think he's just going to fall off the map or what? Do you guys think he's going to be like
barring injury, I don't think there's no stopping this guy and there's no slowing him down anytime soon. He's just too much of a threat. He can drive. He can shoot, obviously. He is unbelievable. That's what the comment says.
He's fast. I don't know. It's just he just has like the total package. Once he starts, probably like if he gets a little more muscles and just starts dunking on everybody, he just.
But I hear muscles mess with your shooting stroke.
Oh, it does.
That's why maybe that's why he hasn't put on the weight that people expect him to do. Like, he's so frail. But maybe if he get buffed, that shot's not falling like it was before. So
yeah, that's true. So what else?
I think this is a very good first show. I hope that we gain some loyal listeners after this first show because we don't know how frequently we're going to do this, but we will make it consistent. I promise you.
What's your input, guys? Do you have anything to say? How is your favorite NBA team doing right now? How's your favorite player?
What was your favorite game so far?
Yeah, you talk about the Knicks.
The Knicks.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about.
The Knicks are actually, they're not the team that won 17 games last year. Carmelo Anthony finally came out of his slump. Yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, he dropped 37 points. So that was a very, very good game from Carmelo Anthony. And Porzingis.
Yeah, Porzingis. I like Porzingis.
I like this guy. He's really tough. Mm-hmm. I know there's a stereotype about European players being soft or every European player, they want him to be Dirk Nowitzki. But this guy really has talent. And
he's talented. I believe him too.
And the Brooklyn Nets. I'm sorry for all the Brooklyn Nets fans, but you guys are really terrible this year. You guys usually make the playoffs. You're always around that 8th seed spot, but I think you guys are finally going to fall out this year. We have a question from the viewer.
But do you guys think the Knicks improved enough to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I see them actually taking over the Brooklyn spot. They're going to get that 8th seed. They're going to replace Brooklyn, and Brooklyn is going to be the Knicks this year. That's how that's going to be.
Maybe. We'll see. So, any more questions?
Guys?
Who's the best coach out there now?
best coach?
I would have to go with Greg Popovich. He's been the model of consistency in the NBA for years now. They are, 16 straight seasons with 50-plus wins? That is unheard of.
And isn't he the new USA basketball coach?
So he's going to be guiding New York, America to more gold medals in the Olympics. We haven't lost in the Olympics in over 2 decades. So hopefully we keep that trend up.
So how do you feel? Do you think he'll do better than Coach K?
I mean, there's really no doing better. Perfection is perfection.
Well, what else can we talk about while we wait for more questions?
Well, we can talk about more disappointments in the NBA. For one, the Milwaukee Bucks. I expected them to be so much better after the signing of Greg Monroe. But they really haven't showed any consistency. Maybe it's because Jabari Parker is not back, but the Greek freak has been playing exceptional. I was one of the people who doubted the Greek freak hype. I thought he was just a hype train, but the guy's really proving me wrong right now. I'm happy. I don't want to wish failure on anyone. How
do you feel about Whiteside?
Oh man, this guy! I think I got a new favorite player now. Man. This guy is unbelievable in the paint. He blocks every shot or alters it. He grabs every rebound. It seems like when he grabs the rebound, his arm's about to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about centers shooting 3-pointers now.
Oh, man. If DeMarcus Cousins consistently hit a 3-point shot, watch out, NBA. This is going to be scary, man. Anthony Davis shooting 3-pointers. Al Horford shooting threes. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's just
this 3-point revolution is really getting insane. Oh, we have a question from a viewer.
Kevin Durant is set for free agency soon. Can the OKC Thunder persuade him to stay, or do you think he's leaving?
If you leave a team with Russell Westbrook, there's something wrong with you. There is no reason to leave this. No, he was traded. He didn't have a choice. Why would you leave Russell Westbrook? I mean, this guy is totally unbelievable. He makes your job so much easier.
He does.
Kevin Durant's going to stay at the Oklahoma City Thunder. And if he leaves, the only excusable leave would be the Washington Wizards because that's his hometown. Any other place but Washington, D.C., is ridiculous. You don't leave Russell Westbrook.
What if he goes to the Wizards? How do you think he will do there?
I think he would do spectacular. They have John Wall, who's a similar type point guard than Westbrook, who could just dominate the game in every possible way. And Bradley Beal's an upcoming young star. I think that he would fit very nicely. They don't have a lot of front court depth, but the back court would be tremendous.
Speaking of leaving the OKC, how do you feel about James Harden this season?
Man, he's been terrible, man. He's been terrible. He can't make a three to save his life. Last year, it seemed like all he did was shoot threes in people's face. Now they're just not falling. He constantly turns the ball over. And you know what I think it is? The refs are finally stopped bailing this guy out. All they did was call a foul. Every head jerk, this guy seemed like he was getting foul called.
You know what?
The refs are not buying that anymore. James Harden probably has to diversify his game so where he doesn't rely on free throws.
Do you know what I think it is? It's the Lil B curse. I'm telling you. The Lil B curse is real. Like every time you do that cooking dance and you don't pay homage to him for doing that cooking dance, he will put a curse on sports curse. His sports curses are real. Why do you think James Harden is playing like that now? Lil B put that curse on him. I'm telling you.
I mean, anything's possible the way he's playing. I don't want to put anything past him.
Oh yeah.
So pretty soon, actually now we are having T-shirts made, Ballin and Talkin. I wish we had we didn't bring them with us today. We're sorry, but we will have the next show for sure to show you guys. And it's also on Janella's Twitter.
It's on my Twitter, my Instagram. You could follow me at Jababi Brown. It's listed on here, Jababi Brown. The shirts are only for $20, so if you want to help support it, so we could get better equipment, no more technical difficulties coming in the next show, so we can have more stuff for you guys. And yeah, if you want to order a shirt, just let me know or contact me.
We might even have a free giveaway.
Maybe. Any more questions? Now that everyone knows how the Golden State Warriors play now, do you think the Warriors can dominate again this season?
With the way Stephen Curry's playing, yeah, they can dominate. They can dominate. Unless he magically, his right arm falls off, I don't see any reason why they can't keep dominating with that guy at point guard.
Yeah, especially now that most of the powerful teams that were on the West is like the Pelicans are like 0-3. The other teams are like 0.
But watch out.
I think he could do it.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are coming for the Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
That first game they play, I'm not sure when the date is. We'll have it next show. But that is going to be the game of the regular season when they first meet up. I think Russell Westbrook is going to prove to Stephen Curry that he's the best point guard in the NBA. If you want to consider Westbrook a point guard, because I know that's debatable.
But just don't make Russell Westbrook mad because he might drop 60 points.
Don't make this guy mad. We've seen what happened to the Magic when he gets mad.
How do you feel about that, though? Do you think that's true that Russell Westbrook plays better when he's angry?
Well, I saw a graphic about it, and I also saw a similar graphic about DeMarcus Cousins, how these are the two players when they get angry. Their field goal percentage raises, their points raises, their rebounds raises, their assists raise. So, I mean, the numbers don't lie, so it must be some truth to it. Don't piss these guys off on the court.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have a long, long day.
Well, we're about to start wrapping up the show, guys. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned. We'll update you. Just make sure you subscribe to us so you can get any updates when we're going to start our next blab, which most likely will be in 2 weeks or so. And thanks you guys for watching. And thanks for the input. And yeah.
I think we got a number one fan too at Too Damn Crazy. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching, everybody.
All right.
Till next time.